But it seems that Africa's story has not been told well. And how well are we also telling our story? And that's why I want to commend FESTAC for bringing us together. It's not just a festival, but also positioning ourselves on the global stage that we are a force to reckon with. 1.34 billion people. If you look at the GDP of Africa, the resources that is coming, the world cannot live without Africa. The world cannot live without, all the minerals are here, but we are not telling our stories well. For how long are we going to look down upon ourselves? It's time for us to take our rightful position in our place. Reflecting on some of the anthropologies, Timothy Bankole this morning I posted, and he gave a reflection of how Nkrumah sailed from here all the way to America through Liverpool. Because at that time, in 1935, when Nkrumah left here, he was 26 years old. April 1935, how Nkrumah got to America through Liverpool and attended University of Pennsylvania after he even got admission. So there are heroes and heroines here who did not get it on a silver platter. The background and the foundation was very rough and tough. Where we are today is where Nkrumah stood on the eve of independence to declare that Ghana's independence is meaningless unless it's linked up with the total liberation. This place was a preserved or a reserved area. This was a polo court for the British. Black people could not come here until 6 March 1957.
As you all know, our founding father, the great Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's vision and dream of a united Africa was one that went beyond the politics. It also included the creative arts, and it tells you about how intentional he's been over the years, or was, to get the continent together. If you look at the establishment of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation back in the 1950s, it was one that had all the various languages like Hausa, like our native Ghanaian languages, some languages from down South Africa. And the essence was to also use language and our culture to bring the continent together. And I like the theme for this year. It says, reimagining the African Renaissance. If you ask me, I believe we should go beyond imagining. It's been about, 60?
culture. Ghana, Africa, a tale foretold from afar, rising of a star, black star, a journey near from far. A craft of nature, equator, eye of the maker, this is Ghana. From the caves and mountains of Afajato stands the heights and slopes of Africa, a pace setter, breaking chains, pains, making gains like the rain. The end of your beginning was the transatlantic merchandise, cutting you to size, but the signs remains your right of inheritance. Ampa, wompa setu akodani batetu, am wadishie wadani akwana ubonkuru. Waira, yeshushawu, wujane, yesound, sanwechi, na wow, ato. Centuries of gain for pain delayed. Osajo for Jofo, your name remains, stains could not be wiped away. Tears washed our wounds as the cry radiates the burning walls of our castles and forts, lifelong and short. Can't dry the tears, like spear it pierce. They cheers with friends, smear with pens, and not a recompense. The journey may be long, but it's the same road we are on. The same song we've been taught, the master song, even when we are wrong, a harm is on. Yadena ho sa no de twi yampo an wanwea owia nso osiochia 400 years through Armageddon. Some say it's Babylon, like the raging storm from Gomorrah and Sodom, burning for freedom. This is home where you were born. You belong. How long? Using
I welcome you with a warm akwaba. But where I come from in the Volta region, they say Miawezo. So let me go to my region and say Miawezo. It's a pleasure standing before you on behalf of the Ghana Tourism Authority and the present. Over the years, Ghana has established itself as a hub for heritage, culture, and creativity. Hosting FESTAC once again places our nation at the center of conversations that celebrate who we are as Africans, while showcasing the beauty and potential of our cultural and tourism industry. Today marks the beginning of our collective journey to the festival itself. We are grateful for the presence of our partners, the diplomatic community, creative industry, stakeholders, and most importantly, the media. We know that the media will help amplify the story of Ghana and Africa to the world, and there is no way we can do it without you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Miawezo. Thank you.
course, to say a very big Akwaba to all of you. Thank you very much indeed for coming out to the... As you all know, our founding father, the great Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's vision and dream of a united Africa was one that went beyond the politics. It also included the creative arts, and it tells you about how intentional he's been over the years, or was, to get the continent together. If you look at the establishment of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation back in the 1950s, it was one that had all the various languages like Hausa, like our native Ghanaian languages, you know, some languages from down South Africa. And the essence was to also use language and our culture to bring the continent together. And I like the theme for this year. It says, reimagining the African Renaissance. If you ask me, I believe we should go beyond imagining. It's been about, 68 years of Ghana's independence. We say ours is the first south of the Sahara. We can't spend 68 years still imagining. It's okay to reimagine, but I think it will be good for us to be a bit more proactive and start working intentionally, collectively as a continent to make sure that our vision is achieved and in our lifetime. I'd like to commend the organizers of this event. It's been to different parts of the continent, and of course, Ghana being the gateway and safest way to Africa, this is where it ought to be in 2025. Tell your friends about it. Our friends in the media, please spread the word. Between the 21st and 27th of September, let's get people out in their numbers. You know, let's go to the Independence Square, celebrate one of our own, FESTAC 2025. I want to commend all of you. I'm sure we all have so much to do today, but we're here to witness the launch of this great event happening right here in the Gold Coast city of Accra. Thank you very much indeed. God bless Africa.
To please pardon Africa. So Nipaya dia when you ya set aside here. Let's clap one more time for our boss. Okay. So at this moment, still enjoy some cultural display from our troops.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are in the world. I am very happy to be here. I thank all of you for being here. I think my office knows that if they don't give me a speech to read, I'll probably speak for about 2 days. So I'm going to stick to the message. Thank you, Ghana. Thank you, our President John Mahama, for taking the country to where it is today. My guy KOD, good to see you again. Thanks all of you, my people from Sports Authority. Thanks for giving up what you are doing this morning to be here. INC, welcome. Angela, good to see you. Imagine Salma, all my people, it's a pleasure to see all of you. I stand on the existing protocol. I'm not a protocol type of a person, so I don't even know what it means to say I'm standing on a protocol because I'm always sitting down. But let me read what the speech says, because I think it's critical to know why we're here today. Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, distinguished guests, partners, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we stand at a defining moment for Africa. From Accra to Abuja, from Nairobi to New York, the eyes of the world are on Ghana as we launch the biggest Pan-African festival of our time, FESTAC Africa Festival 2025. I'm going to stop just only on New York, because if I start naming all the streets, I will go to the cities. I'll go to Rio, I will go to San Jose, I will go to France, I will go to Japan, I will go to India, I will go to Germany, I will go to Turkey, where all our people are. I said that purposefully because when this festival happened in 1977, there were people from over 70 countries. Believe it or not, there are black people in China. There are black people in Japan. There are black Germans. There are black Turkish that have been there for hundreds of years. And every one of them is lounging to be back home. And so this is a platform to bring all of them back home. This festival is more than an event. It is a movement. It's a rallying point. It's a legacy. And the plan is that in just 7 days, from the 21st of the 27th to 27th of September, Ghana will host a world-class celebration of Africa's culture, creativity, and let's do the best job we could to give a good Black Star experience at the heart and soul of Africa in one place at a time, since we are opportuned to have the world looking at Ghana. September is not an ordinary month for Ghana of Africa. It is a month of renewal, some reflection, and I like what KOD said. He said reimagining. We need to move beyond that. And let me tell you one thing. The reason why when you try to rebirth a renaissance, you still got to be careful, because you are building a lot of things, right? And we know where we are and how we got to where we are. But the game is that Africa is not the future. Africa is now. Africa is today. That's the bullishness of reimagining the games our fathers and mothers played in 1966 in Dakar, Senegal, and they played in 1977 in Lagos, Nigeria, to say, let's bring it back boldly, bullishly, to help it to show our currency, our economy, and come bold to the world today, because we are the one with the youth, we are the ones with the brain, we are the one with the minerals. We need to be proud of who we are, and we need to ride it as high as possible, because if we let it pass us, we're already falling behind on AI, and AI would push us further back. So we need to take whatever we have in our pocket, use it to perpetuate ourselves, so we can use our funds and our money to grow and do catch up on AI, because we're already behind on that. And I'm actually deflecting from the memo here, but it's important I get the message across to everybody. This marks the return of the diaspora to the homeland. It embodies Ghana's place as, I wouldn't give KOD all the credit, one of the gateways to Africa. All right, I wouldn't give you all the points, because you were taking it. And I was sitting out there crumbling, saying, this brother is going to take it all, huh? And now, it would forever be remembered as the month when Africa united under one banner to celebrate its greatness. There is no better place, and I can tell you, the euphoria, the reason why I decided to dance is those pictures standing behind me. That's the inspiration right there. Somebody paid a certain dues for me to be standing here today. So my dance is dance of appreciation, not to show off my dancing skills to all of you guys. FESTAC Africa Festival 2025 is about inclusion, innovation, and impact. A bridge between Africa and its global diaspora. What is the theme? We're harnessing the important things in our life, our health, our culture, our trade, our climate action need, our gender equity and gender inequality, the things we are doing where we have over 55 to 60% of our people called the female gender that we are not utilizing their presence on the continent. Is reawakening, is reimagining, is waking all us up on doing the right thing. We want to make sure we tour Africa. We don't travel Africa enough. When we have a little money in our pocket, we pack our bags and we go to Europe or other places. Most people in this room, and many of these people that grew up in Accra have been to Bole or Wa before? Probably less than 10%. Why? And I can bet you this room is full of French, English, maybe more than 50% I've been to all the places you haven't been to. Let's take the time to travel our continent and our country so we see what is out there that we are missing. All right? So it marks the return of the diaspora to the homeland. It embodies Ghana as a gateway to Africa. And it forever be remembered as the month when Africa united under one banner to celebrate the continent's greatness. Over the week of the festival, we will hold groundbreaking conferences and exhibitions on trade, health, innovation, youth, the tech, gender-based violence awareness, topics that are pertinent to our lives. There will be cultural performances. Our fashion is also a power for us. Our music, hello to the Afrobeat. Afrobeat's gotta get the world. And by the way, ain't nothing stopping hip life either, right? And we need to do a better job of pushing what we have that belongs to us. Our food, our culinary journeys, and more than anything else, our films. I'm going to digress because it's important. I was talking to someone yesterday in the film industry, and the person said, I think he was a judge, and he said, somebody has a question, the dominance of Nollywood in the movies. Don't worry about that. What we need to do is that if you're an actor, your audience is not the 30 million people in your country. Your audience is 1.2 billion people on the continent. We need to work together. We need to leverage one another and get the best of what we have because it is our time. There's going to be policymakers to step forward and own this moment. Let us make FESTAC Africa Festival 2025 a showcase of Africa rising, Africa trading, Africa thriving. Thank you and welcome to Accra, Ghana, where the culture of our people meets the Black Star experience. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Medase, Eshe, and all of the above. Thanks a lot.
Nana Kafra, Africa, Ahadiasa, and Yakashra, Nebia Beya. Esi, Ajia Koyachi, Koshayanchi, near your free, near your chili, near Titri, near Nintini, Wohini, Tintin, Pintin. And yes, Yabeko Swaba Sasa, Yabeya Kesamsa, Sikadiesa, Adrensa, Afi Santine, Pantine, say Wupusawine. Muamashia so a you be my Akondia Brown also. We wonder who will see there to me for. General Hunumu, and my end so, when you so, Wasoso, Wutiso, Wabetiso, Ko, Akawajan and so. And to a good young food young quiet and ranty young to me a man by ye. And you see that you are ye. When you ferry into the Amokasre, Monshia Mwakasia, and Yatuakasia, and my ebrese. Ye buesie de Percusie, Nimdia. Ye fancy, no crano so young can and I ever can actually. Nyodo Yanka, Sanka Wenya, Wowaneka and Swaboka, China, Russia, America Fosika, and Yamwepra, Munimwa, Mumusa near to Zambia. Pregueya, Pregosu Boka, Ebian Fata, Nansubakunia, Miatumia, Menchima Moka, Wabra Nyapa, when it does was one son. Into a Kadian in Kabomi and to me engina. And ya could young Kabom de Mutimrika, Etusa, a Heneha, one a Waika, a Sumaba, a Hufa. A Yusubain, a Dikain, Odoma Mine, Nesikain, Kenshakain, Mensain, Sabaina to me a Mobaya, or Sumachinia Hunuhaya, or Chinachinia Mapaya, and yet Abenda, Hurisantine, Musro, a Mutro, at the Sokro, Atiko, Shapapania Mama, Usipo, and Yahin Kwabe to a Dukuru, when you crow, Waham wants you, or whoop at Akamenem.
Spoken word. But it seems that Africa's story has not been told well. And how well are we also telling our story? And that's why I want to commend FESTAC for bringing us together. It's not just a festival, but also positioning ourselves on the global stage that we are a force to reckon with. 1.34 billion people. If you look at the GDP of Africa, the resources that is coming, the world cannot live without Africa. The world cannot live without, all the minerals are here. But we are not telling our stories well. For how long are we going to look down upon ourselves? It's time for us to take our rightful position in our place. Reflecting on some of the anthropologies, Timothy Bankole this morning I posted. And he gave a reflection of how Nkrumah sailed from here all the way to America through Liverpool. Because at that time, in 1935, when Nkrumah left here, he was 26 years old. April 1935, how Nkrumah got to America through Liverpool and attended University of Pennsylvania after he even got admission. So there are heroes and heroines here who did not get it on a silver platter. The background and the foundation was very rough and tough. Where we are today is where Nkrumah stood on the eve of independence to declare that Ghana's independence is meaningless unless it's linked up with the total liberation. This place was a preserved or a reserved area. This was a polo court for the British. Black people could not come here until 6 March 1957, where we are today. So we need to tell our story, how resilient we have been and how we have fought to take our rightful place. When they signed the bond of 1844 with us, it's assumed that after 100 years, the country or the land should have been returned to us. How long did it take them to give back our country to us? They deprived us of our rights. In the bond of 1844, there were restrictions and ban in going to our forest reserves. Whilst they were mining and taking our natural resources away, it was criminal. And that is why George Alfred Park Grant invested his money, because he was a timber merchant, to support the United Gold Coast Convention to fight against the British. And not only the British, other Europeans, the Danes, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Prussians, the Germans, the French, they've all benefited from us. And that's why we are talking about reparations. Reparation is not just compensation, but giving us our recognition that is due. So please, and please, and please, let us not look down upon ourselves. There's a saying that nobody shows or points his left finger towards his hometown. To wit, I mean, you wouldn't say anything bad about you. We are not saying we should not talk about the ills and the wrongs, but we are saying, for the purpose of this program and this event, as Africans are coming together in fashion, in music, in arts, in culture, in trade, in tourism, we're supposed to come together. The vision of our freedom fighters was not just political independence. They were also fighting for economic independence, that Africa can trade among itself. We should talk about removing borders for Africa to be a borderless country. The Agenda 2036 is far too long. We want it now. When African leaders are coming here, we give them protocol. Today, if you want to go to the French countries, it's very tough and difficult. It's expensive to travel among Africans, but it's cheaper when you're going to Europe. That's what we have to challenge ourselves. So my brother, in as much we appreciate your poetry, your spoken word, awakening our consciousness, let us also use this platform as a marketing platform, or a footstool or stepping stone to tell our executive officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Honorable Mrs. Mamifua Ouajeto. And I read, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Ghana Tourism Authority to welcome you to this landmark celebration of culture, creativity, and economic opportunity, the FESTAC Africa Festival 2025, here in the beautiful city of Accra. Now today marks more than just a festival. It marks a Pan-African renaissance, a bold statement to the world that Africa's culture, creativity, and commerce are thriving, interconnected, and ready to power our shared future. Now this year, harnessing health, culture, trade, climate change, gender equity, and tourism for sustainable economic growth could not be more timely. It reflects on the collective commitment to ensuring that the culture is not only celebrated, but also leveraged on as an engine for social and economic transformation. FESTAC Festival 2025 is more than an event. It is the biggest Pan-African festival bringing together culture, commerce, and collaboration to drive sustainable development and create the largest trade marketplace during the festival week. Through the power of collaboration with FESTAC Africa, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and our continental partners will showcase the very best of Africa in just 7 days, from the conferences, exhibition to sports, tournaments, movie screenings, health screenings, cultural performances, fashion shows, culinary experiences, and youth summit. There will be no shortage of experiences to immerse yourself in this. Now, this is the ultimate Black Star experience, and we invite everyone, Africans and friends of Africa alike, to come and experience Africa than never before. Come and experience Africa in just 7 days. Come and taste the Black Star experience, where culture meets opportunity and where Africa connects to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, FESTAC Africa 2025 is not just about celebration. It is about building sustainable linkages between culture and trade. And we are unlocking opportunities for small and medium-sized businesses, artisan creators, innovators across Africa to access new markets and form partnerships that last beyond the festival. Now, this is how we turn culture into commerce. And this is how we turn creativity into opportunity. This is how we build an Africa where tourism, trade, and technology drive inclusive growth. On behalf of the Ghana Tourism Authority, I extend my deep gratitude to our partners, sponsors, and stakeholders who have made this possible. Your commitment to the African dream continues to inspire us all. And as we celebrate FESTAC Festival 2025, let us remember that this is our time to showcase Africa's health and innovation, our time to elevate African women, the youth, our time to lead on climate action, and also time to rewrite the African narrative. Together, let us light the torch of the new Pan-African era, one of innovation, sustainability, and shared prosperity. Thank you for joining us on the remarkable journey as we look forward to welcoming you to the biggest Pan-African festival right here in Ghana, a week that will echo across the continent and beyond. Distinguished guests.
Monday nights, we kick off with our first impact program, which is a dinner in the dark, where we celebrate inclusion and we get to celebrate with Ghana Blind Union and indulge into the world of inclusion and partner with them to have a dinner of awareness of the visually impaired. On the Tuesday, all the conferences begin, and every day for 3 days we will have 3 conferences planned. On the Tuesday we begin with trade, because you've heard we are here to trade, using culture as a catalyst to ensure that we can change our economic narrative. We start with trade, we have a tourism summit, and then we have, the tech and innovation summit on the first day. On that day, it's a Tech Tuesday, and we will have a few hackathons and a few planned activities for the youth. On the Wednesday, the fun begins with the different countries activating some series of events, and we will have the battle of the best meat in Africa. That is South Africa versus Zimbabwe. They have decided they need to show Africa where the best meat comes from. So Ghana, if you don't know where the best meat comes from, come and have a taste. And if you feel that your best meat is the best, or any other country, join in the battle and let's celebrate. Essentially, the entire week we are basically promoting Africa, Proudly Africa. So this was a call between the South African Embassy and the Zimbabwean Embassy coming together to say that it will also be the South African Heritage Day. And because Africa is diverse, we will join in the South African celebrations and ensure that we can, bring in the spirit of Pan-Africanism and party with South Africa. So we're gonna play a lot of Amapiano, and a lot of music that cuts across the continent to infuse that grill day between South Africa and Zimbabwe. Again,